Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Voyager, Season 7, the last season, Episode 2, Imperfection. So, I don't know, this episode was really, it was good. It was a good episode. But, the beginning was a little bit slow, and then by the time we get to the end, it's more of the acting than anything that really makes this episode shine. So this is the last episode that features the Borg children, and I don't know, I felt like their whole thing, like I said, when they were first introduced, I was like, oh, that's kind of like Voyager's jumping the shark, where at this point, they're just like, who cares, let's just do it. And then sure enough, a few episodes later, and now we're getting rid of those characters, probably because, I don't know, was there a negative reaction to them? I was too young to remember, I don't know. But I don't know, it bothered me that we were introduced to these three children, and then now they're going away. With the exception of Icheb. And so Icheb stays through the rest of the series, and he's actually technically done spin-offs and stuff like that. And most of this episode, so it starts out with Icheb actually wanting to join Starfleet and asking Seven to ask the captain if in the next data stream, which is every 32 days, if she would submit his application or something, which is great. It's very reminiscent of Nog from Deep Space Nine as the first Ferengi to join Starfleet, and we kind of watch his progress through it. And now we got Icheb, the first former Borg, to kind of do the same thing. And he even suggests that Seven do it, and she's like, nah, I'm good. I've had enough Starfleet. I'm fine. And so it's just kind of interesting to watch his development from a young adult to wanting to better himself through Starfleet. So the episode really starts out with Seven, and she goes to regenerate in her alcove, and it doesn't accept her, and she's like, well, what's going on? It's like, oh, your cortical node is malfunctioning. We see a little bit of the new Delta Flyer, which, like I said in the last review, guaranteed they were going to make a new one, and sure enough, here it is. They don't even call it Delta Flyer 2 or Delta Flyer A or anything. It's just the new Delta Flyer. So whatever, the whole destruction of the first one was pointless to me. And so this episode kind of breaks down to, because of Seven's cortical node malfunctioning, they need to find a new one because she will die without it. And so they're trying to find one. They find a Borg cube that had more or less been destroyed, and they find a dead drone and take that one, but it had been inactive for too long, so her body rejects it. It's like an organ transplant. The whole Catascot scene was good, but it was bad at the same time, where Seven doesn't want to do anything because she doesn't want help. And so Neelix is like, I figured we could play Catascot because I know you like it. And the doctor's like, she's in a weakened condition. And she's like, what? And she's like, okay, let's play. And so she beats him 16 times or whatever in the game. So like I said, throughout this, it's really interesting to watch them kind of doing all these different steps. But the episode really finally shines when Icheb comes up with his plan that he doesn't need his node because he's so young and he'd been a drone for so short amount of time that the doctor can actually bypass his node but give it to Seven. And when he comes up with it, Seven says no. She's like, no, you're not doing that. Any chance that you could be in danger, it's not going to happen. And so he just deactivates his own node without talking to anybody about it and forces the Seven and the doctor to accept it. And it's kind of a funny scene because the doctor's holding the node, and she's like, I'm not taking it because it's yours. And Icheb's like, well, I'm not going to take it because I don't want it. And the doctor's like, somebody better use the damn thing. And so finally Seven does get it. And when she starts crying at the end, it's such a sweet moment because she knows what he did for her. And I don't know, this episode was really sweet in that sort of a sense. So for those who have seen this one, what did you guys think about it? What did you think about the departure of the Borg children? What did you think about Icheb wanting to join Starfleet and him giving up his cortical node for Seven? So thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Drive.